All right, everybody, we'll get started here with Coach. We'll start with Nikhil, followed by Todd Gaffney. Jenny there? Todd, go ahead.
Coach, tremendous effort by your team. Obviously, you fall a little bit short. You look at the grand scheme of things, that second quarter really was the difference. They went on a 21-4 run to end the second, just didn't make enough buckets in the second quarter. Might have been a different outcome.
It wasn't just that we didn't make buckets. We couldn't stop them from making any buckets. So they dominated us both ends in that quarter. I mean, the other 3 quarters we played good basketball, but the one quarter was bad enough to turn the game. Huge difference at the free throw line. You know, we're starting to slip there. We were doing a great job not fouling people. We've got to get back to that, especially if we're just going to give up this many threes every night. We have to be perfect everywhere else. We didn't give up points in the paint tonight. We dominated the glass. The third big picture item for us is not to foul, and we did that tonight. So, yeah, our effort was great. I'm proud of what our guys put into the game. I thought we got better in some areas, but we've still got a long way to go.
Talked about opportunities before the game, especially for Nikhil, Alexander Walker, and Kyra Lewis Jr. They were absolutely up to the challenge tonight, especially Nikhil. What a career night he had, 37 points.
Yeah, no, he was fantastic. I mean, you know, they decided they were going to load up their whole defense on Brandon. You know, and Nikhil did a great job attacking in pick and rolls and scoring.
And Christian Clark here with Mill.com. We talked before the game that while you guys, you know, you're not going away from your pack-to-paint defense, but you want to do a little bit better job of getting out on three-point shooters. Just what were your thoughts on that particular aspect of the game tonight?
I mean, I'm going to go back and watch it on film, but you know, we still have the same problems. We got lost a few times, and we just don't close hard enough. We just don't, and it's something that's going to have to change, but we'll work on it. Look, the one thing with our group is, you know, they're going to work and try to get better in the whole thing. So I have no doubts that at some point here we'll get better in that area, but it is killing us right now.
Hey Stan, it's Andrew from ESPN. For Nikhil, do you think he was able to, I guess, take advantage of the fact that he knew he had a more defined role tonight, and he knew he was going to be the starter. He knew he was going to play, I guess, X amount of minutes, and it helped him kind of get settled in a little bit?
Well, I mean, I'm sure it did. You know, I think a lot of times when you're a short minute guy off the bench, you're thinking, hey, I got to come in and get it going right away. I think he knew he would have time and be able to find his rhythm. So I'm sure that helped. It's always easier playing knowing when you're going to get minutes. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't think anybody would dispute that for any player. So certainly it helped.
Hey, Coach, another thing you mentioned with Nikhil in the past is you like the shot making, but he needed to get the turnovers under control. You know, held it to 1 turnover tonight. How happy were you about that?
Yeah, our whole team, I mean, took care of the ball pretty well. You know, we only had 11 turnovers. I mean, we did a lot of the things that we want to do. It was threes and free throws, and we've already talked a lot of that, you know, that big run in the second quarter. But we took care of the ball better. We were a little bit more organized offensively. We got good shots. We kept them out of the paint. We rebounded the ball. We did some good things. You know, but against that team, we need to be, you know, we need to do everything well. We do, and we had some areas like the fouls and the threes where we weren't as good, and so it was enough to cost us a close game. But the effort was there. We made improvements in some areas. It was a good step against a very, very good team.
And what did you just see from Kyra in the minutes he played?
Like, there's no fear there. I think he's got a lot to build on. His quickness is great. He can shoot the ball. He will shoot the ball when he's open. It's all good. It's all good. He's got to get a little bit more vocal in terms of directing our offense. We had 2 or 3 possessions there where I don't think we knew what we were in. But that'll come. I mean, come on, guys. This guy's 19 years old. and playing the point in our league. And it's his first shot at doing it, and he's playing against the Clippers with guys like Pat Beverly. Like, I think it's a damn good first start there. Was it perfect? No. If he was an 8-year veteran starter in the league, I might start nitpicking a little bit. It still wouldn't have been a bad game, but I'd be nitpicking. But 19 years old, your first real shot at it, man, it's hard to quibble with what he did tonight.
This is Jim from Pelicans.com. I was actually going to ask about Kyra as well. What did you think of just his composure? It seems like he did a really good job of kind of getting some of those in-between shots, which is something that he's done, I think since training camp and what he's done in preseason.
Hey, Jim, the one thing about Kyra, is he's not going to get flustered. He's just not. Even if things don't go well, he's got a great demeanor about him. He's very even keel. He's very focused. Nobody is going to screw him up mentally, Not any defender, not me, not anybody. Nobody's going to screw him up mentally. I mean, he's a tough-minded guy. He's got a lot to work with there. I was proud of the way he played tonight.
Hey, Stan, Scott Kushner with Miller.com. I was just wondering what your reaction was when Nikhil lines up just for that pull-up three-pointer toward the end of the game when it's a 6-point game. Is that oh my God, I can't believe a young guy's trying to do this. I know he's the hot hand, but we should be doing more? Or is it like, wow, this kid's got a ton of confidence. I'm glad he's, willing to try to go win the game for us. How do you sort of react in a moment like that?
Well, no, listen, what we saw coming up, we had called pick and roll, Scott, but when we saw the matchup, they had changed and put Batum on him, I think, to be able to switch the pick and roll. And so we just waved everybody out of there to let him isolate against Batum. If I'd had my druthers, probably like to see him attack Batum, because I think Batum would have had a hard time guarding him. But he walked into an on-balance three, and he's a good shooter. So, I'm not going to nitpick that shot, If you would have asked me as he came up into that what I would have wanted to see, probably drive him. But I'm not going to question that shot decision on him. It wasn't like it was a tough shot. It wasn't like it was highly contested. The guy backed off. Nikhil had been shooting it well. That's the way Batum played him. Okay.
Does that show in some level his confidence? I know he was playing well enough to show that confidence, but does it kind of give you that idea that even in the last minute of the game that he's still going to be that guy?
Well, yeah. Look, I think the big measure, right, for young guys, for anybody, but the big measure for young guys as far as that, Scott, is not what happens when everything's rolling your way. It'll be what happens when you're having a frustrating night. The ball's not going in. You're not getting some calls, things like that. That's the test of your composure and everything else. But look, Nikhil was fabulous offensively tonight.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you, Coach.
man.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
everybody. We can get started with Nikhil. Jen Hale, you can lead us off.
Now, 2 questions for you. First, congratulations. What a night for you. What was clicking so well for you in all facets, from scoring to leading the point to even on the boards?
I really can't tell you. First, just like all glory to God for like work that's been put in through the summers with Olin, and then my teammates believing in me, and just slowing the game down. Casey Hill, Benno, they've been talking to me about pace coming off the pick and roll, changing pace, slowing it down, reading the big, giving him different looks. So I think early on I tried to let it come to me. As the flow of the game went on, I was just kind of riding its wave, figuring out where to assert myself, and everything's easier when you compete. So I was just playing to win, and it just started to come.
And indeed it did. It looked so good. Ball control was excellent tonight, and the Pelicans in the past have struggled with turnovers. What did you tell yourself? What was going through your mind the first time you're at point for this season, and to not turn the ball over nearly as much as we've seen? It's really impressive.
Honestly, just understanding that a shot's better than a turnover. With great offensive rebounders like Z, Steven, Jackson's amazing tonight. Nico's putting effort in to second chance points. Jay Hart has been consistent with it. So just understanding when you get deep into the paint, being more patient, playing off 2, trying to stay down, not jumping to find a pass. And just like as it went on, understanding that little gap area to play with, getting a shot up, the big will be there to at least offensive rebound. But at the end of the day, you're not going in transition the other way with bad numbers.
Hey, Nikhil, Christian Clark with Null.com. Stan just spoke a little bit about they were kind of loading up on Brandon a little bit. I mean, could you feel that on the floor, that attention, and then what was just, your mindset, because with the game being played that way?
I mean, for sure. With the entire, basically like most of our starters out, they knew B.R. was our leading scorer. They knew B.R. was our all-star and our bit ahead of the snake. So they went at him early, and that's what also made it easier playing with someone like him. So I think him being so unselfish, not trying to force the issue, not trying to get himself going, but just playing the game so our team can win, I think helped everyone tonight.
Hey, this is Jim from Pelicans.com. I have kind of a multi-part question for you. First thing is, they mentioned on the ESPN broadcast, I think they were just trying to basically emphatically describe the kind of game that you had. They said this was the best game of your life. I was wondering, when's the last time that you had this many points in a game? I'm guessing maybe when you were, in an earlier part of your career, you had this many.
I'll definitely say probably high school, for sure. Most I've ever scored was 50, and it's kind of one of those nights as well. It was a fun game. I mean, just being out there. Like I said, I give credit to God and the people that I work with and my teammates. Everyone around me made it a lot easier.
Second part, I just wanted to ask you about 2 different guys. Obviously, Kyra was in a situation where he hadn't played that much, and then he's elevated into a bigger role, kind of like you tonight. And what did you think of Jackson Hayes? You mentioned his rebounding. So I was just wondering what you thought of those 2 guys as far as what they did tonight.
Our competitiveness in practice is what allows us to be ready in the game. Chance favors the well-prepared, and our team was well-prepared because of the fact that when we play the starters, we play like we're playing in the game. We use that as reps against other teams because those are the same guys going out there playing heavy minutes, trying to help us win ball games. So we use that as opportunities, and going against the starters and Kyra being very alert in practice and working really hard is starting to pay off, and the game's always going to give back to you if you stay in it.
Nikhil, it's Andrew from ESPN. Did it help you tonight knowing you had like set minutes? You weren't worried about maybe coming out if you made a mistake or anything like that? Did it help you knowing you had a set role coming in?
I mean, it's easier. You feel more relaxed when you know you just have to play. But at the end of the day, I don't feel pressure coming off the bench. I think that's all like given on self. Like I would have provided pressure on myself. No one when I come in is threatening me. I just play my game. I just be who I am and try to stick to my strengths. And starting obviously helped me get a flow earlier from the jump. But I still would feel like I don't put pressure on myself or accept pressure from anybody else.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, what's up, Nikhil? Obviously, you knew tonight was going to be a big opportunity with so many guys out. But you're not going to get 23 shot attempts on most nights. So, what do you think you can kind of take from this performance and apply to the way you played once everybody's back in the lineup?
Just understanding what worked and what shots I will get when guys are back and how to apply it. I'm confident in my abilities. I don't feel like I need 23 shots because at the end of the day we still didn't win, and that's the main goal. So I'm just trying to focus on how to win. And one thing I understand is that my shots will come. I just got to play the game.
All right, thank you, Nikhil. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, everybody, get started here with BI. Christian Clark, you know this stuff.
Hey Brandon, Christian Clark here with NOLA.com. I know, they focused a lot of their defensive attention on you tonight. What was it just like seeing, Nikhil make those shots that he did during that game?
Well, it's like watching him in practice every single day. Watching him when he goes into his routine every single day, it's just him flowing and not thinking and just him being himself. And it was good to see it trickle over to the game today and him having a good outing.
Yeah, what's up, B.I.? How big is that going to be moving forward, just getting that energy from those young guys on the bench like Nikhil, Kyra, Jackson, and the way they provided tonight?
Well, we need everybody. We need everybody to be really good in everything that they do well. Continue to put them in positions that where they do well at, and I mean, we need them every single night that they step on the floor. Even when they're on the bench, we need them to support us and be ready to get on the floor.
Hey Brandon, it's Andrew from ESPN. As Christian mentioned, the defense was kind of keying in on you early. It seemed like it kind of stifled you a little bit early. What kind of helped you get going in the second half that kind of helped you get going a little bit?
My coaches were telling me where to attack, where I was going to get my shots from. Having guys around me that I know that's going to knock down the shots. I think I could have been a little bit better. Kicking the ball out to the wing a little bit. I had to go look back at it. Some of the passes I made to Steve and Jackson I think could have been a little bit better, a little bit precise. But I saw a lot of looks tonight that I thought I could have been better at.
This is Jim from Pelicans.com. One of the things that Coach Van Gundy just talked about a few minutes ago was that he said that Kyra is a very composed player. There's nothing that really gets him flustered. What are some of the things that you've seen from him that would lead you to not be that surprised that he was able to come in and play the way that he did tonight?
Consistency in the way he works every single day. The type of player he is, he brings the same thing every single day, and that's him knocking down his shot, getting in the paint to his little floater and everything that he does well. And he's like a professional. He comes in and do the same thing every single day, so we know exactly what we're going to get from him. And he definitely came in today and did exactly what we wanted from him.
Hey, B.I., it's Scott from NOLA.com. Just wondering what your reaction was. 6-point game. Nikhil obviously has the hot hand, but takes that pull-up three-pointer to try to pull it within 3. Are you glad to see, him kind of have that level of confidence, or do you kind of think like, okay, that's a young guy still trying to figure this out? Where do you kind of land on seeing that kind of shot attempt?
Well, I'm not a coach. I let the coach tell him if that's a good or bad shot, but I think that's just him being aggressive. And not thinking about what shot I'm going to take. It's just him thinking that he was going to make the shot, and he took the shot.
Yeah, what's up, B.I.? Last one for me. Just what did you think about what Jackson brought off the bench, getting 10 boards, playing, and that pick and roll defense against PG and Kawhi, just what he brought tonight?
Brought a lot of energy. He was in the spots on the offense and defensive end, rebounded and putting the basketball in the hole. He just did his job, and that's what we're going to need for the rest of this road trip and the rest of these games.
All right, appreciate it, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we got Kyra here. Christian Clark, you can start us off.
Hey Kyra, Christian Clark with NOLA.com. Stan, just talked about one of the things that he likes about your game is just the composure. National TV, knowing you're going to get rotation minutes. Were there any butterflies or anything like that before the game?
Just a little, knowing I'm going to get in, like you said, on national TV, playing against a real good team. But once I ran up and down the court for the first 2 times, the butterflies went away. And it was just doing what I do all my life, which is playing basketball.
And just what's it been like for you figuring out, especially when you're kind of thrown in there, just where to get your shots? It seems like everybody that talks about just how you're able to kind of make shots from all over the court. Just what's it been like figuring out where you can be effective on offense, within this group?
It's just finding ways where you can be effective while you're on the court, playing to your strengths. The coaches always talk about that. Knowing your game, not doing too much, that some stuff you can't do. Really just having confidence in yourself and going out there and doing what you work on in the offseason.
Hey Kyra, this is Jim from Pelicans.com. I was wondering, what did you think of the performance that Nikhil had tonight, and what were you guys saying on the sideline, just watching him do what he did tonight?
He played great. He did a lot of things, attack the basket, played good defense. Of course, that's pretty much everything he does in practice all the time. His confidence never wavers. He's always gonna come at you. And as far as us on the sideline, we was encouraging him to keep shooting. Once you got a hot hand like that, just keep being confident and keep being aggressive. And that's what he did. And he played a great game.
Hey Kyra, Christian Clark, one more time. I know you've only been here 10 games, understand, but as far as NBA coaches are concerned, he's just known for the intensity, the attention to detail. Just what has your experience been like so far, just getting to work with Stan?
Like you said, just paying attention to details. Whatever he asks you to do, just come in and do it the best of your abilities. If you have a bad play or something, just move on to the next play. He always wants you to play hard, play good defense. On offense, play free. Like I said earlier, play to your strengths. Just live with the results. And I feel like he's a great guy to play under. He got trust in me when I go on the court, so I just do what I'm supposed to do.
All right, thank you, Kyra. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kyra. Great job, everybody.